too many governments are in the business of, becoming real estate developers. We're not the HPD of New York City. I mean, we're, not a very big town, and the thing that apparently is done in the overwhelming number of cases is these tax foreclosed properties are auctioned upon, and that to me is very, very telling.
Well, you've invested the time and effort into it. It sounds to me you have a uniform recommendation. Yes, that we go with the auction. So I'm perfectly happy to defer to the gentleman that's put the hard work and effort into it. I would like to have some protection that the things are not just given away, and I don't know whatever you think's the most. Yeah, I like the idea. If it doesn't hurt the auction, to have it come back to the town board for a final decision.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think it's going to spark more interest than if you put a reserve immediately on it, because a reserve kind of is going to detract from
Perfect.
Interest.
So do we need to vote? So we need a nominal, please.
Yeah, just because we're still on the topic of redemption, in the interviews it came out that some municipalities have the policy of you can redeem up to the auction date. So that is a possibility a policy that should be considered by the board. And the auction company that we are recommending has over 250 government clients, so they do this all the time.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Okay.
Well, not this board, because they want to redeem even before we go at the auction. These guys are like, this is the Dr. No board here. Anyway, that's true. And the other, I guess, when you talk about the reserve, does that mean like an upset price? You say we won't accept anything below. I mean, I think the upset price has to be the taxes and the penalties and everything that the town.
I might add, they made a very interesting point. That's a sunk cost. That's the past.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to make a realistic assessment. What's this thing worth? The fact that you're owed X amount of taxes, or that it was
is irrelevant to the.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Now is now.
Yeah. So.
But yes, it's certainly something to consider. I mean, we don't want to.
To go back to the town board on each one could be time consuming.
No, it's going to be one auction. They come back in one meeting. We're done.
Well, but you're going to do it a parcel by parcel. You'll say
no, but one auction.
It's
one auction. You're going to
You're going to do the whole package. Okay.
Yeah, all at once.
Great. So you would need a resolution to select whatever the name of the company is to do the auction.
Well, let's do it. Can you want to, David? You want to sort of, I think, in hope if you could take notes, draft. Discuss. The resolution would be.
The resolution is that the town supervisor be and hereby is authorized to enter into a contract with Auctions International, Inc. substantially in the form set forth in the technical proposal dated December 23rd, 2009, and received pursuant to a request for proposals for the auction of all properties to which the town has taken title pursuant to in rem foreclosure proceedings and which have not otherwise been disposed of prior to the date of auction. Is that all right, Mr. Noto?
Sounds good to me. Very good.
All right.
I get a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Gelfarb.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Nyworth.
Aye.
Villanova. Carvin.
Aye. Okay, now on these redemption properties, it seems to me that there's. I guess I'm happy to I guess there's a couple of things. Table it and think about it some more. See if we can build consensus. we can vote on this resolution tonight, but I had not thought of the angle where we're being taken for fools. And I think that's, an interesting angle. And so, I'm thinking, Councilman Gelfarb, you have some very legitimate concerns. And, before we, agree to this, I'm happy to table it to the next month's meeting. We won't have in the auction beforehand, before the next monthly meeting, obviously. What would be the timing, do we think? Now we've approved this. Do you have any sense on the timing?
Of
the auction process.
Once the contract's signed, they'll get it done within 30 days. So if we decided to allow a redemption of these properties, they would be redeemed, and they'd be off the table
Right.
for the auction.
So
But-
realistically, probably there's a couple of weeks for the contract, right?
Not really.
I would think it would be about 2 weeks.
And then
Again, we'd have
maybe
to
30
show
days
it
after
back
that,
and
so
forth.
the earliest probably.
Well, our next
6
board
weeks
meeting is
from now.
March 16th.
Yes.
So, okay, well, I think that I'm happy to table that. If everybody's agreed, I did the redemption properties.
I would certainly be willing to hold a vote on the residential property if we have a consensus about that.
It's not even it's not residential. There are no
thought it
residential.
was.
It's an apartment building, I guess,
it's
right?
not residential.
It's in a commercial class, but people live there.
Oh, it's
It has 6 units. For the first units on the floor
It's an
are
investor
owner occupied.
property.
The rest
Yeah.
are rented
It's
out.
not
Oh, it's a
residential.
6-unit building.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
But theoretically, if it goes up to auction, this person could come and bid on
Yes.
it and pay less money than they're going to pay us right now.
Sure, they can buy it
But
out.
it sounds like there's an awful lot of interest
You got
in this
6 of
property.
you, like decent quality
They're going to have
6.
to pay the interest and we're going to set it at the same rate with the interest
No.
and penalties in there?
No, I don't think they are.
Theoretically, they could come and bid on the auction, but yet, in the contract, you are going to reserve the right to approve all bids. So if you see them, paying, $30,000 instead of $38,000, you obviously wouldn't approve that bid if it's in that theoretical.
One last thing, this 6-unit building, has tenants who pay rent every month?
Yes.
From the information we provided, there is one bit that's vacant, and then the others are tenant occupied, and they pay approximately $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month, 3 apartments are paying $1,000 a month.
Gee, that would have paid for the taxes over the past couple of months.
The auto body shop is also
Gelfarb, it sounds to me you're onto something.
the auto body shop is also paying rent at approximately $3,200 a
Oh,
month.
this is not even an owner-occupied body shop.
No, it's tenant occupied.
Oh, that's even more, as
Egregious.
Supervisor Carvin would say, egregious. This is a tenant paying rent for a body shop, which then in turn doesn't pay taxes. It does sound like we're,
I will defer to the gentleman's invested a lot of time in this, and the best I'm prepared to recommend at this point is to table it.
That's fine.
table it.
I will notify them now, and they're certainly welcome to come to the next meeting and,
Yeah, let
and
them
plead
come.
with you. If you
Well,
want.
we're going to table it. I will
Yeah.
have.
We're
going to be
we own it now.
Session anyway tonight.
We own it
A couple
now.
other issues.
We own it now, so there's no action. And they'll just have to wait for the board to make a decision. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I'll tell them.
So we're getting a motion to table.
Motion to table?
The three
All 3
redemptions.
resolutions?
Yes. Second.
Second.
Thank you very much, Town Attorney Noto.
Gelfarb,
All right.
Messina, Myers,
Aye.
Villanova, Corbin.
Yes. Okay.